All right, all right, all right. Welcome back. You've tuned back in with your favorite dark-skinned beard friend with a beard, Unity. And today we are going to do a controversial video. There's been a lot of controversy around Diddy this year. My man is over here serving time as we speak, but this video, it says Diddy's mom exposed in deleted scenes from the Netflix documentary. So that's what we're gonna do a reaction to. We're gonna see what extra dirt they had going on that they didn't put in the documentary, and why they did it, and why they hid it. We ain't gonna hide it no more because we about to see it. You feel me? All right, let me go ahead and get the screen ready for you. Bang, bang, bang. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Go ahead and get the view right. Mm-hmm. And the video. Uh-huh, uh-huh. We got the sound here. All right, let me check on YouTube, make sure y'all are live over there. Check the Twitch stream, see, make sure we live in full effect. Okay. And there we go. We are live on Twitch. Let me go ahead and check out YouTube real quick. Make sure that thing is online. View channel. All right, all right, all right. We live on both of them. Once again, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. If you like what you see, make sure you press the like button, comment, share, subscribe, and press the notification button so that way you don't miss any of the new streams that are coming up, okay? Go ahead and get this thing started real quick. Diddy's mom exposed in deleted scenes from the documentary. She knew everything. That's what they saying, huh? Let's see what's going on.
50 Cent's net.
All right, shoot our first play. Crazy. Sorry, y'all. Let me get it back right. Boom. And action.
And people immediately noticed something was off. Huge chunks of the story were missing, especially when it came to Diddy's mom, Janice Combs. And what got cut from the final version, it's way darker than anyone expected. The deleted scenes and clips that resurfaced online reveal that Janice wasn't just standing by her son. She might have been the one who created the monster in the first place. Look, most people, after watching this documentary, said, "We already knew this stuff. There's nothing new here." And they were right. The doc showed surface-level information, but it left out the most important parts. There was barely any mention of Jay-Z or Beyonce, even though their names keep coming up in connection to Diddy. But here's what really stood out. Janice Combs, Diddy's mother, got maybe 5 minutes of screen time. 5 minutes. This is the woman who literally raised him, who was there from day one. People started asking questions. Why was her part so small? What information got left on the cutting room floor? And that's what we're going to talk about today, because the stuff that didn't make it into the documentary tells the real story. We're going to dive into the deleted scenes, the resurfaced clips, and the bombshell testimony that Netflix didn't want you to see. Trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to understand why so many people believe Janice Combs knew everything that was happening. And I mean everything. Before we get into the heavy stuff, let me give you some background so you understand why this matters. The documentary did show a few things about Janice, but not nearly enough. First, there was her statement, and honestly, it was wild.
You heard about how Diddy's mom came out defending him? She made a comment saying that Diddy is not a monster.
Yeah, he's not a monster. She is. But I don't want to go down. But she is. She's the fucking monster. Everything in her fucking name. She's the monster. She created that, and y'all gonna see on that Netflix. Y'all just check it out.
When Diddy got arrested and all these allegations came out, his mom released this long statement. But here's the thing. She wasn't defending Diddy. She was defending herself. The whole statement was basically Janice saying, "Hey, I'm not an abusive parent like the documentary makes me look." She talked about being a hardworking single mother who loved her kids, but she barely addressed whether Diddy actually did the things he's accused of. Her main focus was clearing her own name. Now, one specific thing she denied was super interesting. Back in 1991, there was this tragic event at City College in New York. Diddy was promoting a celebrity basketball game, and the venue got way too crowded. 9 people died in a stampede. It was horrible. And right after this happened, Kirk Burroughs, who was the co-founder of Bad Boy Records, said he witnessed something shocking. He claimed that Diddy slapped his own mother during this time because she questioned his decisions. Janice specifically denied this in her statement. She said it never happened. But
how many of y'all, if you hit your mama, you think that you would still be alive today? I think not. If I ever put my hands on my mama, that would be the day that I am resting in my casket. Oh hell no, did he? But his mama though, they said she was a little freaky thing, and put all the freaky things on her son, which is why he is the freaky thing that he is now.
As you'll see, a lot of people who were around Diddy back then have a very different story. Let me also give you some quick background on Janice herself. Diddy's father, Melvin Combs, was murdered when Diddy was only 2 years old, so Janice raised him as a single mom. She's always said she worked 3 jobs to support the family. One job was as a teacher's assistant, another was supposedly modeling, though there aren't really any photos to prove that. And the third job? Well, that's where things get really dark. We'll get into that in a minute. The point is, Diddy grew up in a specific environment, and according to multiple people who knew the family, that environment shaped everything he became. All right, let's get into what the documentary didn't show you. So the documentary showed Janice defending Diddy, right? But there's someone who's not buying it at all. His name is Freddie P, and he used to be signed to Diddy's label. When Janice's statement came out, Freddie P made his own video responding to it, and he didn't hold back.
And a man like he is.
You had any issues with her?
I don't like her. I ain't ever had no issues with her. I just don't like her. I don't like her.
Why you don't like her? You personally? Why?
Because she got my motherfucking money. That's why. That's one.
Freddie P basically said that while Janice is calling Diddy not a monster, she's actually the real monster who created him. He said she was right there when all the alleged abuse was happening. She saw everything and did nothing to stop it. In Freddie's words, her trying to defend Diddy now is meaningless because her own character is too messed up. It's like if a criminal tried to defend another criminal. Nobody's going to take that seriously. This hit different because Freddie isn't just some random person talking. He worked closely with Diddy for years. He saw how the family operated behind closed doors, and his message was clear. If you want to understand where Diddy's behavior comes from, look at his mother. Now let's talk about Gene Deal. If you've been following this case, you know Gene was Diddy's bodyguard back in the day. He's been speaking out about Diddy's behavior for years, way before Cassie's lawsuit even came out. And Gene has dropped some serious bombs about Janice Combs that never made it into the documentary.
His mother had a modeling agency, and it was alleged that it was also ladies of the night, a prostitution ring too, or these ladies was doing things other than modeling. So
Diddy mama was pimping.
The apple don't fall far from the tree. Yeah. So now you gotta understand this, and looking at her and some of the stuff that he was saying, and their relationship has changed since I knew them.
According to Gene Deal, Janice's modeling agency wasn't really a modeling agency. He said it was allegedly a prostitution ring. Let me say that again. A prostitution ring disguised as a modeling business. Gene explained that Diddy didn't learn his behavior from his father, who died when Diddy was super young.
Right.
He learned it from his mother. Gene said straight up, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Meaning, if Janice was allegedly involved in this kind of activity, is it really surprising that Diddy ended up accused of trafficking and exploitation? This stuff runs in the family, but it gets even weirder.
Man was talking about that his mother could take her palms and bend over and put them down on the floor. Not bend over, but she could stand straight up and put her palms on the floor, bro. He's saying that about his mother. Who described any of their mother acting like that in a sexual way? And then, you know, I don't know how many dudes do kiss their mother in their mouth when they 50, 60 years old or something like that.
Gene Deal talked about how...
Okay, I still give my mom a kiss on the lips. I ain't motherfucking tonguing her down like they was just showing this kind of crap going on with Diddy and his mama, but crap, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But that first part, like describing his mama, you know, how limber she is, and in what context was this being used? You know what I mean? Like, it's a little weird.
Diddy used to describe his mother in really strange ways. Like, there's this clip where Diddy is talking about his mom, and he says she can put her palms flat on the floor. He's bragging about how flexible she is.
Yeah, that's
and
weird.
Gene was like, who talks about their mother like that? The way Diddy described it felt sexual. It felt inappropriate. This isn't how a normal son talks about his mom. There was something off about their whole relationship. And here's another thing Gene pointed out.
The way she dresses is not age appropriate. And I know some women gonna say, how she supposed to dress? She can dress whatever she want to. Now, listen to me, man. Nah, I don't have
Nah.
around my friends or nobody with some me drawers on and talking about, you know, she my mama. I don't give a shit. I ain't gonna be talking about my mama. It's bending over, putting up palms on the floor.
Gene said that while he can't prove Janice was at the actual freak-off parties, he believes she definitely knew about them. Why? Because Janice was always around. She went to the regular parties. She was heavily involved in Diddy's life and business. Gene also mentioned that she would wear these really revealing, age-inappropriate outfits. He said he wouldn't want his own mother dressing like that around his friends. It just wasn't right. The whole vibe was off. Okay, so there are some videos floating around the internet that people have been analyzing like crazy. These clips weren't in the documentary, but they tell you everything you need to know about Janice and Diddy's relationship. First, there's the IV drip video.
I love you. Love you too. I
My mama loved me. But that's the way she just looked at him when she said, and then looked at him. That was like also like she kissing her man type man. That right there is a little off to me.
Mine freshly dipped though. I was trying to show the truth. Yeah, my mom's is single. Mom's single. I ain't gonna hate on my mom. She's single. And my mom talked about one time doing a dating show with her. She's so picky. She's so picky, they don't stand. But yeah, that'd be the funniest show in the world. It will be. I don't even want to get started and shit doing that. We're not doing that. But yeah, my mom's single. Yeah, for real. Mom do might have a good time. They ain't sitting in the house playing. You're outside moving and shaking, baby.
Moving and shaking, baby.
I don't care. For real. It's my dog. You know, I want to live life. Be out here moving and growing. My mom told me, she just said, keep moving, baby. That's right. Keep moving. She don't stop. She could touch the floor with her palms. You know? Flat. Oh! Pew, pew, pew.
In this video, Diddy and his mom are sitting together, and they're both getting IV treatments. They're acting like it's totally normal, just hydration or whatever. But
teenagers are out here launching AI businesses from their bedroom, and you're still using ChatGPT to proofread your emails? Stop scrolling and find out how the new technology can change your life.
It's a little weird, man.
For retail.
It's a little weird.
Or whatever. But here's the thing. Court documents from Diddy's case revealed that people who attended his freak-off parties would need IV treatments afterwards because the parties were so intense. People would pass out, get completely drained. So when you see Diddy and Janice both getting IVs at the same time, you have to wonder, what did they just come from? The timing is suspicious.
Come Dukes was in there getting pounded too.
I'm just saying, it raises a lot of questions.
Wow.
And there's the kiss video. Oh man, this one made people uncomfortable.
I'm telling you.
Diddy kisses his mother on the lips. And I'm not talking about a quick peck. It's prolonged. It's weird. He's also talking in the video about how his mom is single and needs a man. Dude, that's your mother. Why are you talking like that? But wait, it gets worse. If you look closely at the video, you can see that Janice is wearing white nail polish. Now, if you read Cassie's lawsuit, you know that Diddy specifically demanded that women wear white nails during freak-offs. He
Yeah.
wanted the white to contrast against their skin. So why is his mother wearing the exact same white nail polish? I'll let you connect those dots yourself, but yeah, it's disturbing.
She was
There
at
are
the
also
freak-offs.
photos that have surfaced. These pictures show Janice wearing super revealing dresses, looking like she's about to go to a club, and Diddy is right there next to her. People have been asking, why is a mother dressing like this? Why does she look like one of Diddy's girlfriends instead of his mom? It's just not normal. Here's where the story gets really dark, and this is stuff the documentary completely ignored. People who knew Diddy when he was a kid have come forward with some disturbing information about what life was like in Janice's house. According to Diddy's childhood friend, Janice would throw wild parties at their home. And these weren't regular parties. Adults would be having sex openly. Kids would accidentally walk into rooms and see naked people going at it. This was just a regular Saturday night at Janice's house. Can you imagine growing up like that? Can you imagine being
Janice
a young
was the
kid
first one to
and
start the
constantly
freak
being
offs.
exposed to adult sexual activity? That messes you up. That changes you. Diddy's friend said he believes everything that's happening with Diddy now goes back to his childhood.
Hold on. Sorry about that, guys.
He said, I don't know exactly why Diddy turned out this way, but I truly believe it all goes back to what he saw as a kid. And honestly, that makes sense. If you're raised in an environment where sex is everywhere, where boundaries don't exist, where your own mother is allegedly bringing clients home with her, of course that's going to affect how you view relationships and consent as an adult. And speaking of disturbing, there's an allegation that Cassie made that's so disgusting, I almost didn't want to include it. But it's important for understanding just how messed up this whole situation is. Allegedly, Cassie testified that Janice had a special recipe for macaroni and cheese. And by special, I mean she would keep a jar of Diddy's bodily fluids in the fridge and drizzle it on the mac and cheese like it was extra.
Hell to the no. Nigga ain't going over there for Christmas or Thanksgiving. I just ate some macaroni and now I'm about to go throw it up. Yeah. Oh my God. Hell no. Janice? Why? Why you gotta mess the macaroni and cheese up like that?
Cheese. Then she would bake it and serve it to Diddy, to Cassie, and eat it herself. I'm sorry, but that's not normal. That's not motherly love. That's perversion. That's sick. And it shows just how deep the dysfunction in this family goes. Before Diddy even got arrested, there was someone trying to warn us. His name is Dapper Dan, and he's a legend in Harlem. When reporters asked him about Diddy, he didn't sugarcoat anything.
You don't see when they interviewed Dapper Dan about Diddy?
Have you seen that one, please?
They ran into Dapper Dan in Harlem and they asked him what he thought about what was going on with Diddy and if he knew Diddy. And I love Dapper Dan for this. He said, I grew up with his parents. He said, and what's going on with him has been going on long before him. Now, his father was a government snitch and a bad actor in the criminal world altogether. But there's whispers in the streets of Harlem that Diddy's mother isn't alive. Not his biological mother, but that woman is his aunt. There are whispers.
Wait a minute.
There are whispers.
Oh, snap.
Dapper Dan said, I grew up with his parents. I knew his parents.
Y'all think that's Diddy aunt or that's his real mama, man? Oh my God. Are they? Oh man.
Then he dropped this line.
I ain't
What's
never heard
going on
that.
with him has been going on long before him. Think about that. He's saying this behavior didn't start with Diddy. It's been in the family for generations. Dapper Dan was basically telling everyone that if you really want to understand Diddy, you need to look at where he came from. You need to look at his mother, but people didn't listen. They brushed it off as just neighborhood gossip. Now look where we are. There are even whispers in Harlem, and I'm not saying this is confirmed, but there are whispers that Janice might not even be Diddy's biological mother.
Oh,
Some
man.
people think she might be his aunt. I don't know if that's true, but the fact that people in Harlem are saying this tells you something. It tells you that people who knew the family have serious questions about what really happened. Jaguar Wright has also spoken about this.
She's
been
stayed
saying
talking.
for years that Janice was the blueprint, that she was the original person running this kind of operation, and Diddy just followed her lead. He learned everything from watching her. Remember Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard? Well, he revealed something that the documentary definitely didn't want to touch. Gene said the real reason Diddy fired him had nothing to do with his job performance. It had everything to do with Janice. According to Gene, Janice started making inappropriate advances toward him. She would constantly ask him to do little tasks, testing his boundaries. She wanted to see if she could get him to submit to her. Gene said she would throw hints, asking why he never called her, why he didn't pay attention to her, and Gene kept it professional. He would call her Miss Combs and keep his distance. But one day, things came to a head. Janice asked Gene to go downstairs and get food out of her car. Gene looked around the office and was like, there are literally 1,000 interns here who could do that. He realized she just wanted to show that she had power over him. She wanted to prove she could make him do whatever she wanted. And Gene refused. Janice got upset. She said something like, everybody does what I tell them to do except you. Who do you think you are? And that's when Diddy overheard the argument. Diddy came out and said, I'm tired of this. Why are you always messing with Gene? Leave Gene alone. But the damage was done. Shortly after that, Diddy started having other people take Gene's shifts. And eventually, Gene was out. Gene said looking back, he realizes that Janice was probably into him. And when he didn't respond to her advances, she made things difficult for him. But here's the really twisted part. Diddy was jealous. He was protective of his mother in a way that wasn't normal. It was possessive. And it wasn't just Gene. Kirk Burroughs told Gene that back in 1991, he witnessed Diddy slap Janice. Gene also personally saw Diddy cuss his mother out in a limousine. Diddy told his mother to stay out of his business, using really disrespectful language. Gene confronted Diddy right there. He said, if you ever talk to your mother like that again around me, I'm going to beat you. Diddy shut up real quick because he knew Gene was serious. So you have this toxic cycle. Diddy mistreats his mother. He disrespects her. He allegedly gets physical with her, but she still protects him. She still keeps all his secrets. Why? Because maybe she's just as guilty as he is. According to Mace, you know, the rapper who's been going at Diddy for years, Janice is the key to everything. Mace said that if you want to know about all the bad things Diddy has done, you need to ask his mother. Because Janice has the receipts. She has all of them. Apparently, Diddy put almost everything he owns in his mother's name. Houses, cars, businesses, it's all under Janice's name. Why? Because Diddy knew that if things ever went bad, he'd need someone to protect his assets. He needed someone who would never rat on him no matter what. And that person is his mother. Mace pointed out that all the other people who could expose Diddy are either dead or can't talk. Biggie is dead. Craig Mack is dead. Black Rob is dead. Everyone else signed non-disclosure agreements, so they're legally prevented from speaking out. But Janice knows everything, and she's been holding it down for her son all these years.
Like Lil Kim
loyalty,
right there.
I guess. But it's also making her complicit in everything he's done. Here's something the documentary barely touched on, but it's super important. How did Diddy get his start in the music industry? The official story is that he worked hard and climbed his way up, but there are whispers about something else going on behind the scenes. Some people say that Clive Davis, the big music executive, had connections to Diddy's father Melvin before Melvin was murdered. Then, after Melvin dies, young Diddy magically ends up under Clive Davis's mentorship. That's convenient, right? Some people believe Diddy didn't just stumble into fame. He was chosen. He was groomed. There were certain things he allegedly had to do, certain rites of passage to lock in his spot in the industry. And according to insiders, Janice was watching the whole time, maybe even managing it, maybe even orchestrating it. This wasn't just a mom supporting her son's career. This was something deeper. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. Janice might not just be a witness to all this. She might actually be in legal trouble herself. There are reports that Janice has been helping Diddy hide assets, properties, bank accounts, entire businesses allegedly put in her name to keep them away from investigators and lawsuits. If that's...
I mean, well, that's not hiding it. That's in plain view. Like, if nothing's in his name and it's all in her name, duh. You know what I'm saying? But you can't do nothing because it's not him. You trying to attack him and punish him. You can't punish him through her. You know what I mean? Man, damn, bro. I'm just still stuck on that thing that might be his aunt and not his mama. Whew.
True, that's not just being a supportive mom. That's money laundering. That's aiding and abetting. If the feds start looking into Janice's finances, she could be charged as an accomplice. And honestly, a lot of people think she should be. Because all the evidence suggests she wasn't just standing by while Diddy did terrible things. She was part of it. She knew about it. She maybe even taught him how to do it. So let me ask you, is Janice just a loyal mother doing what any mother would do? Or is she the puppet master who's been pulling the strings this whole time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you think about all this. And make sure you're subscribed because this case keeps getting darker every single week. New information drops constantly, and you don't want to miss it. I'll see you in the next one.
That's wild.
Don't wait for. So how much do I need to start trading? 100?
You know,
The question.
I'm not ready to stop the stream yet. We're gonna do another one. Saw another video that I think might be interesting. It's all 50 Cent. Let's see. If y'all like what y'all been watching so far, you like the video so far, make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe, press the notification button for the next available video that's coming. Let's see what we want to watch. Cent, man, he is one of the biggest trolls in the world, but this fool got information on everything. Got no problem. You know what I'm saying? Exposing it. I think I got it over here somewhere. I think I started. That's the one. All right, yeah, let's look at this one. See if this is the one I was talking about. Yeah, we can do that. 34 minutes. We can do that one. Let me see something real quick. All right, let's go. Let's hit it.
For both of you, 51st, why this project? Why now?
Well, we waited until after the results of the trial to release the project, but I started like almost 5 months before I was able to find Alex, and finding that Emmy Award-winning showrunner and director is detrimental to the project being really well put together. So, you know, they should expect it to perform like Reggie Jackson did.
Thank you. Yeah, I think
petty.
Why it's coming out now is we wanted to wait, to get through all of the legal proceedings, the criminal trial, and it spans four parts, and it spans over 30 years of pop culture, his life. So it took some time, to say the least, to put all of this together.
50 Cent is making headlines again, and this time it's not just the usual drama. The explosive allegations in his documentary about Diddy have left the public in shock. And according to 50, we haven't even heard the full story. What's been left out could change everything.
Favorite villain? Your favorite villain? I kind of like Diddy. When people say I'm a troll, I don't know why you're saying I'm trolling people. I'm doing what you conditioned me to do.
In a recent interview, comedian TK Kirkland dives into the long-standing tension between 50 Cent and Diddy. Kirkland suggests that Diddy's decision to date 50 Cent's baby mother wasn't accidental. It was a deliberate move. For Kirkland, this choice crosses a line that any man should know not to cross, a line of respect and loyalty. He argues that given Diddy's fame, wealth, and global reach, he had many options. Yet, he chose someone tied to 50 Cent's past.
Now, I just want to say this. People are talking about how, 50's attacking him and he's being petty. Now, keep in mind, out of all the women in the world that Diddy could have gotten with, he chose 50 Cent's baby mother.
It's a lot of variables to this particular question. Because I talk to a lot of people, older, younger, even my daughter, who's 22, she didn't understand it. So people give their opinion based on what they've experienced and their environment, people they've been around. So to the people that understand boundaries and respect. I always tell men you should never date another man's girl if you're not aware of it. If you know it, then it's wrong. But if you're aware of it, it's like basketball players. We talked about this before. Football players who date the same women.
Yeah.
And won't go outside the box.
Yeah, and I've never done that.
I've never
in
done
my life.
Bro, it's clear cut. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about you being scary or, yeah, basically that's it. It's like, because if anything, it's like if you like something, you like something, and you're gonna go for it. But I would never go and date one of the homies' ex-girlfriends, or even a girl that I like. If I know a dude, even from a distance, and then they break up and I see her on the, there's no way, because I know for a fact that we're going to be in the same circles and bump into each other again. And that's just unwanted drama. For what? I'm not about to be fighting about some stuff that you said that you was over with, and then you see her with me and now you want her back, and I ain't giving her back because clearly, see, nah, it's just too much. Stay away from your homies' exes.
I can honestly say, at 52 years old, I have never dated someone.
This move, according to Kirkland, was not an innocent mistake, but a calculated act of disrespect.
Yeah, Diddy did that on purpose.
The question remains, what does this say about Diddy's sense of loyalty and boundaries? 50 Cent's documentary unveils the layers behind this alleged betrayal, leaving the public stunned.
That I knew was an ex of a friend of mine.
Right.
Sometimes I found out a girl that I'm messing with that also messed with this other dude that I know in the industry, whatever.
Yeah, that's happened before.
Different. After the fact, but I would never
After
go
the fact,
into
though.
it if that's like was his girl.
It's really the wrong thing to do. I've been presented in my lifetime. Women have come to me and they'll say, "Oh, you know my ex-husband, or you know my husband that passed." And when I was in my 30s, I leaped and did it, because I said if I died and was in a relationship and my baby mom was fine, ain't nobody gonna think of me. They're gonna think the person. So this is just some real, some real
Yeah.
shit. As I sit here today, knowing that there's an ocean full of women.
Ocean. Billions. There are billions of women.
Billions.
Right. And that's the whole thing about Diddy. Diddy's not some nerdy dude who just happened to find some IG model and, oh my God, this is the girl of my dreams. Man, he has access to women all around the planet.
And that's his reputation.
But he went after the baby mother of one of his rivals.
Exactly.
Someone who had been taking shots at him for years.
Absolutely.
On purpose.
And he went after her knowing that they had beef.
Right. And
Pettiness only begets more pettiness. And this is a prime example.
slutting her out.
Slut her out.
Just slutting her out.
Slut her out.
Having a whole basketball team, run a train on her.
I
Just the
totally
whole
agree.
thing, right?
Totally agree.
Right.
But his reputation from when he worked at Uptown, I'll be sure's girlfriend.
Oh, Kim Porter.
Kim Porter.
Right.
That's his reputation.
I'll be sure his baby mother.
Baby mama.
Yeah.
Then
Eric Sermon,
his friend, the one that had she had his baby Mia. So he's had a reputation of going after people.
Tupac's ex-girlfriend. He got a baby with her too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my point that I'm making to the men listening, well, if you don't understand this, then you just poorly educated and don't really have common sense. It's a no-no. There's no way I would go after.
Interviewed Gene Deal, a close associate of 50
It's
Cent,
a no-no.
has openly criticized the documentary for using his ideas without proper credit. Deal claims that parts of the project were based on concepts he had previously pitched, raising the issue of creative ownership. He explains that he worked closely with the producers and provided significant input on the direction the documentary should take. However, he believes his contributions were taken without acknowledgement. This revelation puts the spotlight on the documentary's legitimacy and raises questions about how much of it is truly original, who owns the narrative, and should credit be given where it's due. 50 Cent's involvement in the project adds weight to this critique, as his influence is undeniable in shaping the narrative.
Footage had to be down, the documentary had to be downsized. You understand? I don't really believe that, because a documentary is a documentary.
And,
that part.
They could have had 45 minutes. They could have had an hour, to each one of those. You understand? They left out certain things. He said they even left out the one about Sarah Chapman. You understand? And for whatever reason, he probably left out a lot of other different stars too. Situations that they could have spoke about. You understand? I have a problem with the documentary, and I'm just gonna let you know that the reason I have a problem with the documentary is that they know that they took my idea. You understand? They know that when I came to them, I laid out what they should do and how the documentary should be. You understand?
You know what? I was waiting for him to get into that, and for him, because he was the first one to really start blowing the whistle on Diddy and them. You know what I'm saying? So for him not to get some type of credit, and then they just come out and do it, that's just industry type stuff. But I was waiting to hear if he was gonna say they stole his idea.
And she could say whatever she want to say. I talked to those producers before I even talked to her. They wanted to know what I had, what I was bringing, my pictures, all that stuff like that. And I told them about me, Tim, and Kirk. You understand what I'm saying? And how it would go. They did the same thing. This ain't the first time they stole from me, man. If you look at the Notorious Big, if you watch the Notorious Big, that part about the shoes, I had that in my book. And I was talking to K.O. Copeland. He was one of the writers of that movie. And I told him about when I let Big use my shoes at Soul Train Award. You had this old flunky ass dude, Mike B, get on Angie Martinez show and talk about, Big, he wore mixed match shoes and he went out there and performed. When you go look at the film, when you go look at Big performing on that show, ain't nothing mixed match about them shoes. There was $800 Morris, size 14D. Big wore a 14E. E means that his shoes is a little wider than mine. He struggled, but he put them on and he went out there and performed. Those was my Gators that he had on.
In a candid conversation, Gene Deal reveals that Diddy has a troubling pattern of dating women connected to his rivals, suggesting a deeper, more personal motive behind these relationships. From Tupac's ex-girlfriends to other high-profile figures, Deal believes Diddy has strategically chosen women with ties to his enemies. This pattern goes beyond mere coincidence. It raises serious questions about Diddy's intentions and his approach to power dynamics. The key takeaway here is that Diddy's relationships may not always be about love, but about controlling narratives and asserting dominance over his rivals.
Yeah,
50 Cent's documentary uncovers this strategic behavior, drawing a clear line between Diddy's personal life and his professional battles.
You understand? They did a little skit trying to disrespect me in the movie. You understand? And they said something about, we got this shit from Big Sexy. He knew they had called me Big Sexy, you understand, because I used to play ball with them at the Reebok on Columbus Avenue on Saturday morning. And on my arm, it had Big Sexy. Right there, Mighty. That was my pen name for Felon Magazine. People didn't notice I used to write for Felon Magazine. You understand? And because I was a parole officer writing for Felon Magazine, I named myself Big Sexy. You understand? So now, they go and steal my ideal and what I was writing in my book on the Notorious. Now they did this on this doc. That's what they do, bruh. They don't they don't care, bruh. They did the same thing on the BMF things to my man who just did a book. His name is Alexander Newell out there in Detroit. They call him KK. Him and the brothers used to run around on the west side in the Brewster Project. They from the Brewster Projects. Him and his brother, what's Alex's brother name? Dangerous. They got him played in the movie as the name Dog in that BMF movie. Alex's brother name is Lawrence. I think it's Lawrence. Dangerous. Wasn't playing. When they got him up in the video, going into the game on the BMF thing and killing somebody in front of everybody in the basketball thing, He was that type of dude. Alex used to come to Harlem to see me. He actually took me to meet him, my man Kevin Thigpen. We all went to Atlantic City. We seen the show Beauty Shop.
Mark Curry shares unsettling stories about Diddy's controlling nature, particularly in his relationships. He recalls an incident where Diddy angrily confronted a producer who had spoken to Kim Porter, demonstrating Diddy's possessive behavior. Curry paints a picture of a man who micromanages every aspect of his relationships, especially when it involves people in his inner circle.
Yo, we had a time. Alex was the man. You know what I'm saying? So now they take his story, all the stuff they just switch around, change it for the BMF thing. That's what they do, bro. They caught me out there. Am I mad at him? I said, everybody, and you got, yo, why 50 didn't, fight for you to in the movie and the whole thing? Man, he don't supposed to fuck up his money for me. Why should he mess up his money for me? Nah, that was my fault. I shouldn't have told him shit. Or I should have had them sign something. If you do the documentary in this way, you owe me.
Facts.
Because it was my idea.
Lesson learned.
They can't tell me they had that idea because they didn't know they had Tim. They didn't know they had Kirk. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't know that because they came to me first. So
it's talking too much.
That's what they do, bro. That documentary, and if 50 do another one, and I heard he's gonna put it on YouTube or do whatever he's gonna do, Puff ain't gonna have nothing to do with that. Puff ain't gonna have nothing to do to try to stop that because he can't. Because if he could stop it,
he would have already
been stopped. You know why he can't stop it? Because Puff know people right there at Netflix. Don't think he don't. And I don't know if this guy still works for them, but he was part of the flavor unit, Shaquem. He was part of the flavor unit. He was good friends and he was cool with Puff and them. Flavor unit and them, Queen Latifah and them, they was cool with Puff. If Puff would have sent the cease and desist over there and they could do it and he had the power and they wasn't right, they would have been done it. You see it's still rolling, right? It's still going on, right? He ain't got that power no more.
Do this kind of behavior, Curry suggests,
all right, Jane,
it's not just about love.
Break it down.
It's about power. Could Diddy's need for control go beyond romantic relationships and bleed into his business dealings as well? 50 Cent's documentary shows how Diddy's obsessive control extends far beyond his personal life, potentially affecting his entire business empire.
You're a grown man. You carry yourself like a grown man. He doesn't carry himself like a friend. You know?
So you're not surprised when you hear Cassie say that, Diddy, he used to hit her and she had to cover up her bruises with makeup. You're not surprised when you hear that. Because I interviewed Gene Deal, and he wasn't around Bad Boy when Cassie was around. But he told me that, he did the same thing to Kim Porter.
Or you could take it before then, and then you can remember when Misa was dating, Eric Sermon from EPMD? And that was her childhood boyfriend, coming up. They was the, lovey-dovey couple. And it was back then. He used to, do that with Misa. So, one thing
caught in the Diddy, swiper, no swipey. Mr. Swiper, no swipey. Hide your wife, hide your kids.
As a man,
hide your wife, hide your kids.
Anyone in a relationship, we often go through these kind of things. So I've seen it in friends. I've seen it in him. I've seen fights. I've seen all kinds. I've seen fights where he have an argument, fight with a female, whatever it may be. I've seen it with my own friends. But sometimes you say, we all go through things, but once you have a sign of doing it over and over and over again, that's when it becomes a problem. You'd be like, so every relationship that you get in, you're violent in them? So you say, I don't have to wait to see what he would, I was around when Cassie was there. I knew Kim Porter before I knew Puff. I met Misa, but it was a history. When you have a history of the same thing, man, it becomes a problem. Something you do once or twice, you get over. First, you're not supposed to put your hands on a woman's way I was raised. And the only person that really put their hands on women really is men who have feminine traits. So, it really takes a coward to put his hands on a woman.
So
I agree.
you know, a man is so strong. You know, we can just walk away. You don't. You can do. There's so many different things that you can do other than get upset, put your hands on a woman. But that comes from a man who's not quite a grown man. It's still a boy, like a bad boy.
Like a bad boy, Diddy. I mean, what y'all think, man? When is the line crossed? You know what I mean? When is the button pressed to the point where it's acceptable or not? I've always been told if a woman put her hands on you, hit her back. You know what I mean? But 9 times out of 10, you just walk away. Now, what about when you walk away and they start walking with you? You start running and start running with you. How are you supposed to get away from that situation? I'm just like, man, it's a sticky one, man. Just keep your hands to yourself, fellas. It's better in the long run.
Speaking of Kim Porter, because you knew Kim Porter, is it true that Diddy broke her nose?
Bust her nose, man. You know, but it was all, you know, insecurities.
Eugene Deal brings forward troubling details about Diddy's relationship with Kim Porter, alleging that Diddy was physically abusive towards her. Deal recounts a specific incident on a boat where Kim reportedly slipped and fell, but Deal believes she was struck. This revelation paints a much darker picture of their relationship, one that contradicts the glamorous image often portrayed in the media. The question remains, why have these allegations never been fully addressed? And what impact has this had on the public's perception of Diddy? 50 Cent's documentary brings these allegations to light, forcing the public to confront the truth about Diddy's personal life.
Any truth to that?
Unless they can hide unless she did her book on Google Doodle and it's in the clouds and they can get somebody to get it out of there, she ain't got no book. It's just a conspiracy. Kim, it was alleged that she did have a book and that her book was about to come out. And she was talking about all the perils, everything that she went through in the music business and with Diddy. All the men that they slept with together, because there were men that they slept with together. There were swinging times that they slept with together. I don't know, man. How do you put your girl through some shit like that? Or how do you look at your girl and knowing that she sexing another dude? What kind of demonic mind you have to be that far gone where that don't bother you for somebody that you love? But Kim Book
ain't no man piping mine.
Express all that. And I hope she did her book on Google Docs or she did her book somewhere that is floating in the cloud of the internet that somebody can go get it one day. Because any picture you take, anything that you write or say, it's in that internet cloud. It just gotta be, you just gotta go get it. And one day, somebody gonna go get it. But I'm sure that he probably got hold to those tablets or whatever she had, allegedly, and got rid of them. They swimming with the fishes.
Wow, man. So she was about to expose all that in her book, them sleeping with men together.
She's gonna expose everything. I heard it was tell all.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Just curious, right? Did you know that Diddy and Kim had that type of relationship back then in real time?
Yeah. Because I know somebody personally that lives in Atlanta that was swinging with them, and I would never mention his name because he's a good brother and he knows my family down there. You know, he knows my family down there, and I would never, put his name out there like that. He's been in the music business. He done put a lot of groups, A-listed groups out there, especially A-listed groups from Atlanta. So I would never put his name out there like that. But
JD,
I got the key. I got the pass key to everything. But then when they needed more ice or they needed bottles and stuff like that, when I used to go to the door and I knock on the door and they open the door, and then my nosy, ooh, you see certain or they sitting in the jacuzzi together, all of them, nothing on. You see shit like that, bro. It is what it is.
Industry veteran Gene Deal further dissects Diddy's reputation within the business,
the freaky
claiming
ish
that
is
Diddy's
what it
success
is.
built not just on talent, but on manipulation and exploitation. Deal points to how Diddy has historically used others' ideas from business ventures to creative projects without proper credit. This deal suggests is part of a larger pattern of controlling and exploiting those around him to maintain his empire. The issue at hand is not just Diddy's fame, but how he built that fame at the expense of others. How much of Diddy's career was achieved through questionable ethics? 50 Cent's documentary challenges this narrative, questioning whether Diddy's success came at the expense of those who helped him get there.
Every time you saw him, he had a bottle of champagne. They was drinking Moet all the time. So I guess they don't consider cases of champagne and everybody having their own bottle and drinking out of their own bottle like it was a 40 ounce. I guess they don't consider that drinking, but I digress.
There was a part where he was going back and forth with Andre Harrell, and he was saying, "I'm gonna be drunk and high by Wednesday." I don't know. So I'm like, it seemed like the shift happened quickly when it comes to being introduced into this thing, into this industry. So he's technically he might be a victim as well.
I've already said that I believe that he was victimized, and I think it happened long before the industry. People really don't want to look closer into his childhood and to what his mama had going on in their house. God knows what he saw and what happened to him in his home mama house. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say, for her after-hour life.
Oh yeah, he was. I'm gonna say he was surprised to hear that.
School bus driver. No, was he surprised or was he like, "Zip it, you talking too much"? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like you talking a little bit too much. They don't need to know about that. While she was sitting there, because I was a bus driver and I was this and I worked at the after hours.
Jaguar Wright, in a deeply revealing interview, speaks about the disturbing ways Diddy's behavior has impacted his children. She alleges that they were exposed to environments they should never have been around, raising serious concerns about his parenting. While many have focused on Diddy's success in the music industry, Wright suggests that the more troubling stories are the ones hidden behind closed doors. The real question here is what kind of parent allows their children to witness such behavior, and why has no one spoken out until now? 50 Cent's documentary sheds light on the darker side of Diddy's parenting, forcing the public to reconsider their perception of the mogul.
Your limp leg.
Sorry, y'all. My mom just put my dang dog out here with me. Either come sit down or go lay down. But you're not about to eat the food off this plate. Pick one. You're interrupting my stream right now. Go lay down. Thank you. All right, we back.
LGG.
Yeah. Jeez.
What straight grown man says that to another grown man? Because it sounds like the leg that he was referring to was his pee-pee sky.
Oh man. Oh man.
And again, we're bouncing around, but for Lil Rod, that whole part right there where he stated, they would all just be drinking, and then all of a sudden everyone's out of it, and he would wake up with women next to him. Sometimes he'll wake up with Diddy next to him. Not remembering what happened the night before.
Yeah.
That's as wild as it gets, man.
You talking about he woke up hurting.
There's so much left unsaid.
Just wake up with Diddy next to him. Wake up sore.
Sore.
But I'm tripping, all right? I'm tripping. I mean, that's what the whole world went around saying. I'm tripping. Okay, all right.
When you see the Eric Sermon discussion about Misa, and it seems like Diddy's just out there to take everyone's girl. It seems like you got her, I want her.
Take that, Mr. Take that.
Situation where they say he was trying to shape Misa into his mother. Can you see that? Like,
yeah, with the blonde hair and and all of that. I mean,
weirdo.
Sometimes you ask the question, what kind of man puts his hands on his mother? The same kind of man that parties with his mom. The same kind of man who kisses his mom in the mouth. The same kind of man who seems to have...
Several insiders have mentioned Diddy's infamous parties, events that reportedly attracted powerful figures from all walks of life. Despite the high-profile nature of these gatherings, the documentary barely touches on them. This omission has led some to question what is really being hidden from the public. With so many rumors swirling around the people who attended these parties, the silence in the documentary seems suspicious. Why is there such a reluctance to discuss these gatherings? And what do they reveal about Diddy's influence in both the entertainment and business world? 50 Cent's documentary reveals the truth about these parties, exposing the powerful connections that Diddy tried to keep hidden.
They had a bunch of
blaxploitation
movies being played around the house all the time. They grew up with the Mac playing. They grew up with Superfly playing. Like, I mean, if that's what you got going on, you got two women in the house and there's no men around, and these are what the little boys are watching. You got basketball players coming over late at night. You got hustlers coming over, PIMPs coming over, women who look like they were modeling for Jet Magazine coming over. Like, it sounds like the nature of the environment is what shaped their perception of what cool was. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure for him it was, oh, man, that's who my dad was. You know, we glorified these characters. Like, even if you look at Biggie Smalls' name, Biggie Smalls is a character from an old Portier Cosby film. Uptown Saturday Night, I believe. 40th Street Black and all of those characters that they had in the film. Biggie Smalls was played by Calvin Walker. Big gangster from, I believe, St. Louis. Like, all of these characters.
Yeah. No, without question.
Talking about Biggie Small, baby.
So I'm sure for him, it made him feel good because all of that stuff that he was watching, he really came from that. But that was really his legacy. And yeah, I'm sure for him it felt good to know that his dad was this big hustler who turned out to be a snitch, who got his brains removed from his head in a very, very, very unpleasant manner.
That's his
Jack,
damn.
There was a part in the documentary and he kept saying, God told me, he told me to do nothing.
Yeah.
He's telling y'all need to do something. God tells me to do nothing. What are your thoughts on that?
This is what my thoughts on that. God said no. That's what God said. Like he was wilding with the whole, God told me I can't do nothing. But he did say that you couldn't do something, and then you couldn't do something, and then you couldn't do something. God told you to do nothing. Why did you call Kalina 80 million times then? If God told you to do nothing, if God told you to be still. Speaking of God, did you see him with Little Rod working out?
Oh man, that was
while they were on the come down from all of the pharmaceuticals and all of the weirdo behavior and all of the alcohol, watching TDJ.
Jaguar Wright also sheds light on Didd's apparent obsession with Tupac Shakur. According to Wright, Didd's fixation on Tupac influenced many of his decisions, both personal and professional. From dating EXEs of his rivals to adopting Tupac's public persona, Diddy's obsession with the late rapper runs deep. This raises the question, how much of Didd's behavior has been shaped by a desire to both emulate and compete with Tupac? Could Diddy's life and career have been drastically different if Tupac had never existed? 50 Cent's documentary unpacks how Diddy's obsession with Tupac shaped his decisions, both personal and professional, in ways that were previously hidden from the public.
Kirk Burrows, he had said that, Diddy had, put his hands on his own mother, from what he, it happened long before the fame, or long before his notoriety.
I see it's 3 people in the live. Go ahead, put a W in the chat if you like the video so far. Put a W in the chat.
Basketball came back.
W's in the chat.
9 lives. Very similar to what happened with Travis Scott down in Houston for Astroworld. Isn't that funny?
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Isn't that such an odd coincidence? Diddy did that thing, and 9 people ended up passing away at the end of it. Travis Scott did that thing, and 9 people ended up passing away. It's the coincidences are so interesting.
No one got in real trouble for that. No one had to, I guess you could say, pay the piper in creating Bad Boy. He knew to take the business and put it in his mother's name. So therefore, they can never seize those assets. Technically, everything is still in his mother's name.
Kind of like how what is it? D4VD, the David kid, did after that girl came up, hacked up into pieces in his car.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came back home to Texas, right outside of Houston, and started turning over assets.
Oh man!
Immediately. While his PR team was lying, saying that he was cooperating with the police when the police have made it very clear as of late, he has not cooperated at all, left the state almost immediately. So when he so-called moved out of the house on, what was it, Doheny, and now they've changed the name to Virio. Isn't that funny? Girl gets found cut up in pieces right around the corner from a rental property, and they literally changed the name of the street within weeks.
Yeah, property value going right down.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh yeah, no.
Huh?
Yeah, that was that's not a coincidence.
I know.
Like
I'm just. I guess the reason why I'm bringing up certain things is because a lot of people are trying to make this seem like it's just a Diddy issue rather than it's an industry issue.
So let me ask, because him putting his business in his mother's name and the U.S. attorneys trying to go after Rico that he used his business as an enterprise to do these sexual deviant things.
Yeah.
Technically, if he's just getting, let's say, small payments from his mom.
As 50 Cent's documentary continues to expose Diddy's past, the layers of controversy keep piling up. From personal betrayals to professional manipulation, these interviews shed light on the darker side of Diddy's empire. With more footage rumored to be released, the story is far from over. What other shocking revelations will come to light next? Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe for more updates as this story unfolds.
Wow. All right, man. I gave y'all a nice little 2 for Warner. a twofer. You know what I mean? Stop sharing. Boom. All right, man. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all tapping in with your favorite dark-skinned friend with a beard. Unity. Make sure that if you liked what you saw, make sure that you press the like button. Make sure you comment, share, subscribe, and press that notification button so that you don't miss out on the very next stream. All right, man. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? Yeah, that whole situation is just crazy with Diddy and his mama in the first place. But it is what it is. He's in jail. Let that man serve his time and then get off his trail. I'm going to find some more videos to react to. Y'all go ahead. Have a great, beautiful rest of your Sunday night, and I will tap in with y'all later.